Hi, welcome to the New England Gal Knits podcast. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch my video. I hope you enjoy spending some time with me. My name is Janet. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as the New England Gal. I live in Massachusetts with my husband, my two boys who are 12 and 10, our dog Lego, who as you can probably guess was named by my boys, as well as our cat Smokey. So you would think that living in Massachusetts, it is officially fall. It is September 26th. It is New England, and New England is known for their fall foliage and the fall weather. So you would think pumpkin spice lattes and apple crisp and sweater weather, and that is not the case right now. I don't think Mother Nature got the memo. It is 85. It is hot and humid and sticky. It is still flip-flop and t-shirt weather here, and I'm really hoping that with October right around the corner that it starts cooling down and I can wear some of these knitted projects that I have recently finished. So the reason I am starting a podcast is that over the last few years I have been binge watching podcasts, and I have found them so inspiring. They have given me ideas to step out of my comfort zone and knit things that I would have never thought of, or even new patterns or certain types of yarn were even out there. Another reason I'm looking to start the podcast is recently our local yarn shop has closed, and unfortunately I just don't have the knitting community that I used to have when they were open. So I'm hoping by starting this podcast, it gives me the opportunity to meet some other like-minded knitters like myself and people with the same passion and enjoyment for knitting that I have. And even if it's just virtually, it's nice to get out there and meet new people. So I'm going to start off with a couple finished objects. So the first finished object I have, I actually do not have with me. They were a pair of vanilla socks for my oldest son who has hijacked them. He didn't want to wait to wear them. They are knit out of Knit Picks Felici. I had actually dyed them myself. He wanted Tottenham Hotspur inspired socks, and that is an English Premier League soccer football team, depending what country you live in, that we follow, and I couldn't find anything with the right colors, so I decided to dye some up myself. I will try and stick a picture in here so you can see them. The other finished object I have is the On the Grass Pullover by Joji Locatelli. I knit this out of Quince Co Lark in the shell colorway. I absolutely love the sweater. I love the yarn. It was easy to work with. It is soft and squishy. It's going to be so warm once I can start wearing it. So this sweater has been on my needles for over a year. I knit the body in no time at all. It's knit in the round. It just flew off my needles. And then it came to the sleeves. The sleeves are set in where you have to pick up the stitches and do short rows. This was the first sweater I ever cast on, and I had never picked up stitches, nor had I ever done short rows. So I found it a bit of a challenge. I think I tried knitting the sleeves 5 times and put it in a timeout. I just recently picked it up about 2 months ago. Some of the other projects I have completed had the short rows in it, so I felt a little more comfortable, and so glad that I did. So glad that this is off the needles. I have both sleeves done. The sleeves are a little bit longer than what the pattern called for. I have, as my family I'm hoping likes to affectionately call me, I have monkey arms, where they're just a tad bit longer than normal. Any store-bought long sleeve shirt, the sleeves just tend to be just like that inch too short where they look awkward. So I knit these sleeves and they fit perfectly. They are the length I like. I like it a little bit longer, a little bit past the wrist. So this is just perfect, and I am so happy with the way it came out, and really hoping that I can start wearing it really soon. So that is it for my finished objects. So for my works in progress, the first one I have is actually a half-finished object. So they're a pair of socks I'm working on. They are the Weasley Homestead socks by Lueder. So this is the finished one. This is knit out of Knit Picks Felici in a color that I dyed, again on my own. So I picked some autumn colors, hoping that it would inspire me to feel a little bit cooler than the sweltering heat that I've been feeling recently. So this is the first sock. I did switch the heel. I did the fish lips kiss heel instead of the heel that was in the pattern. I just prefer this. It fits my foot perfectly, and then I have it memorized. It doesn't take long to do, and I can quickly do it anywhere because I know the pattern by heart. So here's the first sock. In the second sock, which I keep in my Fringe Supply Company field bag, I take this bag everywhere with me. The second sock, I've made good progress on. I have the leg done, I have a heel, and I am now working on the foot. So I'm hoping to make some really good progress and get this done within the week. At least that's my hopes. So this is my first work in progress. Now, for socks, I do prefer either the magic loop, or you'll see on my other project I'm using 9-inch circular needles. I tend to use the 9-inch circular needles for my vanilla socks. I enjoy using the magic loop for my pattern socks. I do not use double pointed needles at all. I always end up poking myself with them. I'm clumsy by nature, so I'm always fumbling and dropping them. I just do not get along with double pointed needles at all. So my socks and even my sleeves will either be done on 9-inch circular needles or the magic loop. So my next whip is another sock. I have it here in my Jezebel B bag. This is my bus stop knitting. So when I am out with my boys at the bus stop, this is what I take. It is the perfect bag because I can just stick it on my arm, have my project, and I can just knit away and I'm not fumbling around. I love this bag. So this is a vanilla sock that I'm working on for my 10-year-old. He wanted Minecraft creeper inspired socks. So this is Hawthorne by Knit Picks yarn. I did dye the yarn myself in the creeper colorways for him. So this is the first sock. So I'm almost done. I'm working on the foot. I'm trying to decide how long to make the foot. So I knit a pair of socks for him at the beginning of the summer. They fit him perfectly, and then overnight it seemed like his foot grew 2 sizes. Not 1, 2. So they're a tad bit small on him now. He's still wearing them and loves them, but I'm trying to debate. I don't want to knit these to fit his foot to have him have another growth spurt. So I think I'm going to knit them a tad bit longer than his foot, and hopefully he'll grow into them and have them a little bit longer. So I'm working, these are the ones I'm working for him right now, and that is it for my socks. I am working on a sweater for myself. So this is the Angelina pullover, and it is by Mary Ann Benedetto, and it is out of the Interweaves Knitters magazine for the fall. So this is it. I'm making really good progress. It is a worsted weight sweater, so it just seems to be flying off the needles. I am knitting it in the Fibre Company Cumbria yarn. So this is a wool mohair blend. It is in the color Derwentwater. I think that's how you say it. And I'm loving this yarn. I love the mohair. It's not superwash, it's not merino wool. I find it soft. It's a little bit rustic, but I do tend, especially for my sweaters, to like more of a rustic feeling wool. But so it's a cabled yoke, and then I have about 2 more inches left on the body before I get to the hem. It is a short row hem. It is going to be curved, and then it is an I-cord bind off, which I have never done before, but I'm sort of nervous, but also really looking forward to the challenge of an I-cord bind off. And then the sleeves are 3/4 length bell sleeves, again with the I-cord bind off. So I'm hoping that this sweater will be my Thanksgiving sweater this year, and then hoping to get it done quickly so then I can figure out what my Christmas sweater will be this year. So that is the sweater I'm working on for myself. I do have another sweater I have on the needles. This one is a tad bit smaller. So this is the Flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. This is in the 3 to 6 month old size. I had a coworker that recently had twins, so I am knitting sweaters for her 2 little babies. So this one is for the boy. Again, it's Knit Picks Felici that I dyed myself. I am holding it double to make the worsted weight version of this. I love the chunkiness of a worsted weight sweater, and this is so soft and squishy, and it's flying off the needles. I'm working on the rib right now. I probably only have 2 more rounds before I can cast off the body and work on the sleeves. I'm hoping to have this done this weekend so that I can start on his sister's sweater, and that I dyed up again some more Felici, and this is the colorway for that. So that is it for my works in progress. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is some of the things I'm looking forward to casting on. I already have a couple things set aside, ready to be cast on as soon as I get some of these other ones cast off. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the next sock project that I cast on. So recently, Jaclyn Salem of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast released her Clark sock pattern. I love cables. I find I fly through cables. I knit socks on a plane that have the cable on just the edge, and those seem to knit up so quickly. So I am so looking forward to casting these on, and the yarn I picked for that I bought when my local yarn shop was going out of business, and this is the Regia Tweed in the 98 colorway, and it's a dark gray brown, and it has orange and green and red tweed in it, and I just love these. I think these will be the perfect autumn sock and will be perfect with the cable. So I am looking forward to casting these on as soon as the Weasley Homestead socks are off. The next one I'm looking forward to casting on, I'm actually missing a color. So I was at a yarn shop not too far from where I live, and I saw this beautiful skein of yarn. This is Primrose Yarn Company in the Galaxy colorway. It has beautiful purple and yellow speckles in it. It is just stunning, and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I normally try not to pick up yarn unless I have a specific project in mind, but I couldn't leave this there. It was beautiful. So then I started going through my stash, and I found this. This is Anzula Squishy in the Fiona colorway. I had this left over from another project I was knitting on and thought this went beautifully together. And then I had also found, this is Cascade Heritage in the Citron colorway. I had picked this up to knit a pair of socks with it and just never got around to it, and so glad that I didn't, because I think these go beautifully together. So these are going to be an Exploration Station by Stephen West. I love his patterns. I've never knit any of them yet, but they're so different and so original that I just thought these would work so well together with that punch of color. I just need to find a fourth color, and I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I'm thinking either a mid-tone gray or a black, but I haven't decided. Hopefully, as soon as I figure out what the fourth color will be, I will get these cast on. So another project I'm looking forward to casting on is a pair of fingerless mitts. Now, Labor Day weekend, my son had a soccer tournament north of us, almost at the New Hampshire border, and there was about 2.5 hour time period that we needed to kill in between games. So as any knitter would do, I located the closest yarn shop and stopped by, and they had there some Swan Island yarn, which I've been dying to give a try. I love that rustic feel of it, and it's from Maine, so New England, it's close to home. So I picked up the Paige mitts, and these are by Melynda Bernardi. So I picked up the pattern for that, as well as the 2 yarns. So these are Swan Island Sport yarns. I picked up one in the Ecru colorway, as well as one in the Blackberry colorway. So I can't wait to get these started. This will be probably my second color work project I've done, so I'm looking forward to giving it another go. I really enjoyed doing the first project. I do want to give this a soak. I listen to the audio podcast, The Knit More Girls, and they always talk about with color work, when you have yarn that is highly contrasted, that you should soak the dark yarn, make sure it doesn't bleed, because last thing you want is pink and purple mittens instead of white and blackberry mittens. So I'm going to give this a soak and then get these cast on as well. So that is it for the things that in the near future I want to get cast on. I did purchase a couple little things that I'd like to share. I don't normally do a lot of shopping. I have quite a bit of stash I want to use up, so I really try hard if I am going to purchase new yarn that there needs to be a specific project in mind for it, which tends to be when I pick up yarn. You can basically socks. Socks are a project, which happens to be 2 of the yarns I decided to purchase were for pairs of socks. Actually, technically 3, and I'll start with one of them. This I bought with the purpose of knitting socks, and then I got it and decided it was just too beautiful. It needed to be a shawl, and I haven't decided what shawl yet, but Moonstone Dyeworks, she was having a sale, a Labor Day sale, so I decided to pick up, this is her Haunted colorway on her Stellina sock. It is stunning. There are these gorgeous speckles in the yarn, and I love it, and it has gold stellina and it just twinkles. Anyways, I got it, I took a look at it, and I'm like, I can't make socks out of this. It's just too beautiful that I really need to do a shawl. I haven't decided which shawl I'm going to make with it yet, but it's definitely going to be a shawl. Then I also picked up from the yarn jar 2 self-striping socks. I love stripe selfing socks. They knit up so quickly. So I had originally picked up the Moonstone Dyeworks for some Halloween socks. It was named Haunted, thought it would make great Halloween socks, but now that that's not going to be socks, I had to pick up yarn for Halloween socks, and these are called Halloween. So it's beautiful. It's got 2 different oranges, 2 different purples, gray, a black, a bright green. I just love it. And it did come with a cute little, and I don't know if you can see it, a little bat stitch marker. So while I was in her shop, I also decided to pick up another ball of yarn, and this one is the Snowbird, and this is just stunning. It has these gorgeous off-white with speckles and a light blue and a light gray and this taupey brown. It also comes with a little owl stitch marker. These will be my winter socks. I may have purchased something that'll come in for my Christmas socks, but I just love these and can't wait to get these on the needles. And then the last thing I purchased, now I tend to make my own project bags, not that I've done that recently, so I don't buy a whole lot of project bags, but I saw this bag and I could not resist. This is from Pearl and Plum, and this is her sock bag. It's drawstring with my Patriots on it. I am a New England girl. I love my Patriots, and I saw this and I could not resist. I just absolutely love it. It is, the interfacing is wonderful. It stands up nicely. There is, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a pocket inside. It is just beautifully made, and I can't wait to put a sock project in here and knit while I'm watching the Patriots, and hopefully when I watch them next time they'll do better than they did on Sunday. They really cut it close. They came through, thank God, but they cut it close. So anyways, looking forward to this weekend, throwing in a pair of socks and knitting away while watching the Patriots play next weekend. So that is all I have to share with the yarn and all the knitting goodness. So I thought the last thing I would do is actually just kind of talk about things I have coming up for the next couple weeks, which, to be honest with you, isn't a whole lot. I think, as any parent knows, this time of year with school starting up and kids' activities starting back up, basically the time is spent trying to arrange schedules and make sure that everybody is at the correct place at the correct time. So my older son does soccer and Boy Scouts, and my younger son does Cub Scouts. So this weekend, actually, my younger son has a camp out. My husband's taking him. They're going to just a local farm in town. It was built in the 1700s. It's beautiful, and they're gonna camp on one of the fields there. He is looking forward to his foil packed dinners and s'mores and campfire skits and sleeping in a tent, and by sleeping, probably staying up all night and driving my husband crazy. So I figure while they are off doing that, it gives me time to spend one-on-one with my older son. Sometimes we don't get a lot of time, just him and me. Normally it's the three of us. My husband works long hours, so I'm looking forward to probably just doing dinner out with him and then coming home, throwing on a movie, and I'll knit while he watches the movie. And knowing 12-year-old boys, it'll probably be a superhero movie. We've seen them all at least a dozen times, so he probably already knows the one he wants to watch for the 13th time, and we'll just throw that in and just settle down and enjoy a nice quiet evening home, just the two of us. So that is about it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you. Bye.